Hi Firefly. I saw your post that I'm replying to, obviously, and I am going to reply to it. I liked that you started out with some praise for the atheists that you are subsequently going to debate. So I think that's a good style, and I am going to answer some of your questions. I really like bulleted lists of questions, so that's great. Now, I haven't been watching all of the debate, but I have seen, I'm kind of new to YouTube, and I have seen that this debate is going on. A debate on atheism. Okay, first, how I became an atheist. Well, I'm not against the religions. I am an atheist. I'll say maybe later what I think that means, though. It's not necessarily what you think, but close enough. And I was exposed to all kinds of religions, New Age religions like reincarnation, certainly Christianity. I did Bible study in high school with some Christian friends of mine, and so I exposed myself to many different religions, and so it's sort of it's not against a religion so much as it's pantheistic, multiple religions, and I think this is a way to become atheist because, so for my reasoning, I would see the good in all of these religions and create a coherent moral system from everything that I'd learned, let's say, from these religious systems, but also from life, from science, from these other things. And it's by taking what I can learn from all of these things is how to lead, I find as an atheist, I answer questions that help me lead, a good and moral life, which is important. So, I don't want you to think that I'm talking about something that's sort of literally pantheistic. I'm just talking about a path to getting to atheism. When you see all that, you start to say, well, that's nice, but it looks like mythology, right? And again, I think mythology is important, and it can be true. It can be really, because it's apt and it's metaphorical and it captures something that, you're right, science hasn't captured yet. See, I'm open to this spiritual information coming in, but I don't think we get it in literal ways. It's interpreted. So after looking at all these religions, I start to see that as you want something that's a meta-religion that explains all of those religions. So I want a philosophical moral system that explains all of those religious systems. That takes what's right and good about all of those moral systems and says, well, what binds them together? How can we have these truths in different places? And insofar as if I was religious, I'd be looking at the gods too. I'd be saying, look, our God is the same God as your God. We need to integrate that. We need to integrate ourselves like our God is. Now, what life experience is, just that life experience there. I mean, there wasn't something that broke my faith in God, right? I don't really know what you mean when you ask for a testimony. I know there's something like this in Christianity, and I guess it's a testimony of how you're reborn again or found God. I don't think there really is something like that in atheism, because the atheism is an idea that you have to go out into nature to get knowledge. There is no knowledge right there in the atheism. It's just sort of, atheist, calling it atheism is just, hey, you can't get knowledge metaphysically. Metaphysics won't do it. Physics is going to have to do it. And then not just physics, but other sciences, and not just other sciences, but your own hands and your own eyes and ears and your own taste buds and your own interactivity with the world. You have to go out there into the world to get these truths. So there isn't one revelatory experience that makes me realize the world's out there unless it's beginning to walk. Now, I was never a Christian, but my family was obviously Christian, and I feel Christian in that sense. Now, also, theories are not facts. But when you say that it takes just as much faith to believe in science as a religion, or specifically your religion, that's just does not seem to be the case to me. There's different amounts of faith. It takes more faith to believe some things rather than other things. In the case of religions, the other thing is that without even looking and comparing the religion directly to science, which I don't think is a direct comparison, though, I accept that you make the comparison directly, but I think there's something different in type between the two. Perhaps the reason is science seeks to reduce the amount of faith necessary to believe in it. At all times, it is attempting to have progress, where progress is defined that you need less and less faith to believe in what you are told by science. So, for example, the original classical model of science, which is basically proven inaccurate, of Newtonian physics, wrong, relativistic physics, more accurate. It's not really that the Newtonian physics was wrong, but it wasn't accurate. It was a trivial special case of what really turned out to be the case. And one suspects the same thing will happen again. And as you move along in science, you get lower and lower, and you need less faith. And the things you have to have faith in become smaller things, like you have to have faith that things exist, and faith that things collide, or faith that things are the same, the laws of physics are the same here as they are billions of light years away. And these are pretty clear things to have faith in or not. They're personal judgments that a person can make. But I do not look to science for all of the answers to various things. I look at a whole array of things to get those answers. So, art. I look at pragmatic experience. I look at inspiration and emotions and all sorts of things. Okay, faith in the imperfect. Now, the thing about faith in the imperfect is, here we go. Atheists have faith. You're right. The thing is, we also have doubt. Okay, so some things require faith, some require doubt. Everything requires a mixture of faith and doubt, and certain times, certain situations require an emphasis on one or the other. So, yeah, things are imperfect. That's just how it seems to be. Everything is imperfect. Yes, we have learned to deal with that. And as for disproving God, I don't want to. So yeah, I don't want to disprove God. Okay, so my last thing is just my own thing. What atheism means to me. And I believe atheism, to me, there's a political meaning of atheism. The history of that word is it's not anti-theism, it's without theism, atheism. And really, I just believe that it means it's so a person might believe in God and still use atheistic reasoning, in the sense that they don't say because God told me to, or because God wants something this way. They don't give that as a reason for something that they have done. They don't give God as a reason for something that they have done, or for a reason or something the government should do, is a better example. And to me, that's a kind of atheism. And I think it's sort of a compromise atheism, and it's sort of why I hope we could have a secular society. It's not that I don't expect you to be inspired by your religion. I would hope that you are. And I would hope other people are inspired by, their religions and their philosophies. But then when we come together and all argue with each other, we're at this level where we have to use reasons, and we have to make those reasons without theism, because that's the only way they can be compatible with all the other kinds of theism. If you include your theism, that theism contradicts the other theisms. So right away you have a problem in a heterogeneous, modern, democratic, free society. My personal atheism is a result of that. It doesn't cut me off from looking into spiritual things. I'm very interested in spiritual matters. But it does make it difficult to choose just one of the world's religions, or really any of the religions, because I think we need this binding force that ties them all together in the world right now. Thanks.